facing famine. After more than a year of conflict, the fighting is now spreading to other areas. So what will bring an end to this conflict? This is Inside Story. Have been killed, and now there's a threat of famine. Aid agencies are warning the nation of 49 million people is at risk of collapsing. Sudan sits in a strategic area of Northeast Africa with 7 other countries sharing borders and resources such as the Nile River. So what are the regional implications of this conflict? And what can the international community do, if anything, to bring Sudan back from a nationwide food emergency? We'll put this to our guests in a moment. First, though, this report from Imogen Kimber.
Sudan has become the world's biggest humanitarian crisis. 18 million people are going hungry.
Time is running out for millions of people, including 3.6 million acutely malnourished children who are at risk of famine, and they are displaced from their lands, living under bombardments and cut off from humanitarian aid.
He added a famine will likely take hold in parts of the country. Some predictions say there could be 500,000 to 1 million deaths. Aid is very difficult to deliver, and when it gets through, it may be looted. Fighting in Al Jazeera province, dubbed the breadbasket of the country, has worsened, with more than 100 people recently killed in attacks blamed on the Rapid Support Forces, and this means even less food produced. 70% of health facilities in war-affected areas are no longer functional, according to aid groups. And with increasing violence and hunger, there will be more refugees. 9 million people have already been displaced, most internally. But 1.8 million have fled to neighbouring countries: Egypt, Chad, Ethiopia and South Sudan. All this a result of a conflict that began more than a year ago between the army and paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan is leading the Sudanese armed forces.
We will not submit, nor will we retreat or surrender until they lay down their weapons. This battle will definitely end with the victory of the Sudanese people and the victory of the Sudanese armed forces.
While Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo is the head of the Rapid Support Forces, once operated by the Sudanese army. A possible genocide has been reported in Western Darfur by the Rapid Support Forces and their allies, killing up to 15,000 people. And intense fighting continues in Al Fasher in North Darfur state, a pocket controlled by the Sudanese army among what is now territory of the RSF and other groups.
One of the things that, to me, captures just how invisible and horrific this war is that we don't have a credible death count. We literally don't know how many people have died, possibly to a factor of 10 or 15. The number was mentioned earlier, 15 to 30,000. Some think it's at 150,000.
Perriello also says the conflict is at risk of escalating, with weapons flowing across borders. And for the people of Sudan, there appears to be no end to their suffering. Imogen Kimber, Al Jazeera for Inside Story.